In this section, I'm going to show you the new editing and automation features, starting with the new sampler track editing. So here we have a project that's very simple. It just has a drum track with Groove Agent SE on it and using the Aberdeen kit, and it's being played by this MIDI loop. So I'm going to reveal the control panel for Groove Agent SE here, and let's just take a listen to what we have now with a MIDI loop and the audio instrument. Now, if I wanted to make the audio from this instrument be a loop that I can play from inside of a sampler track, in previous versions of Cubase, I could do that by rendering the audio, then dragging the audio into the sampler control window. But now it's so much easier because you can take the MIDI event and drag that into the sampler control window, and all of the rendering is done automatically. Let me show you how to do this. It's going to require that you have the lower zone visible. So if you don't see the lower zone, come up to your window controllers here and make sure that you click on that center window, then go to the sampler control tab at the bottom of the window. And you can see they've changed this to say drop audio sample or MIDI part here. Now all you have to do is click and drag the MIDI event into the sampler control window, and that's going to render the audio automatically. It's going to make a sampler track for you with that new sample on it. I'm going to click and drag this up so you can actually see the waveform. So here's the rendered audio from that MIDI track, and now when I play a note on my MIDI keyboard, I'll hear the loop. And I can play it in different pitches. And another nice new feature of the sampler track is the A/B switching so that you can audition two different settings. For example, if we are on the A setting right now, which is the default, and we turned on the audio warp feature and changed the speed slightly, and then wanted to compare that with a different speed, now we could come to the B settings and maybe try an increase in the speed. So here are the A settings, and I'm just going to be playing my MIDI keyboard to hear this. So that's the slower version. Let's listen to the faster version. And that will work with any of the parameters inside of the sampler control window. So if you wanted to edit the amplifier window on the A tab, you could add a fade in right here. And then maybe you wanted to try a longer fade, so go to the B settings and try a much longer fade. So now you could audition between the A setting and the B setting. So those are the additions to the sampler track. Next, let's talk about the new automation curves.